All right, says I'm not live. So let's turn off some other shit there. There we go. And here we go. So for we're calling you Miss C. Okay, and other folks to be able to look at this to give them a sample of the readings of my readings in general. But nobody's going to know it's you except you. And I'm just going to quickly look it up your email and la la la. There we are. And so you've asked two questions, and we're going to bunch them all, both of them, into one. And it's oh heavens! Now I got to go to Hero to see the questions. But you know what? I think they're about career and love. So we're talking about everything here, and we'll highlight your questions. And it says my rate is low, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm just going to go with this. We've already got a minute and a half, so this could end up taking a while here. But let's look at your chart. First of all, I got your chart, la la. And not only is this your birth chart, that of course shows that you are a Capricorn, right in the middle of Capricorn, and that your moon is in Aquarius. And there's something to mention right off the bat with that because you're born like a day and a half after a new moon in Capricorn, and that this placement is um, don't take it the wrong way, take it a good way, is seen as a phase of the moon when um, that help people be kind of fresh, be kind of childlike, be kind of enthusiastic. It says your kind of inner child is not elusive, shall we say. It's near at hand. And so moon in Capricorn is an intrinsic awareness of kind of the world in which we live. And, no, Capricorns can be kind of private people, but they know that their life is lived in community. That's sort of a and intrinsic to their awareness. So, and then you also have, I don't know if anybody's really done your chart before, but it's so big here, is you have a grand trine in Earth between your sun, your birthday, at 15 degrees Capricorn, Jupiter at 17 degrees Taurus, and um, Uranus at 15 degrees Virgo conjunct right together with Pluto at 17 degrees 17 degrees Virgo. So Pluto conjunct Uranus in Virgo, trying your Sun, trying Jupiter, all in these Earth signs, really quite exact, pretty close, and making this big kind of triangle. So what that shows is that you have a real kind of good head on your shoulders for business and practical stuff and getting stuff done. And when you have the impulse and the intuition and the flash, you can really kind of get things done. I mean, whether that's creating a business or just getting to work on time or getting your ideas out there or just kind of getting rid of the hoardingness or kind of, dang it, I'm cleaning my oven today and it gets done. So good for you, and that is very good for you, and it's also kind of, well, it's not that exact. So 16. So in the context of what's going on these days, um, that's going to be something to kind of reflect upon. But a big thing to look at in astrology, in how things are going these days, prognostication or forecasting, is what your progressed moon is doing. And your progressed moon these days is in your sixth house and in Pisces. And really, this says we got to take it back. That's like 1 year, 2 years. About 3 years ago, um, three, and let's see, two, yeah, two, 2.5, thereabouts, 2.5, 3 years ago, um, which of course puts us right at the kind of just before the pandemic. Um, you would have had this progressed moon on your natal moon, and this would have been like a new kind of start for you, a new kind of a cycle of okay, on with a new phase of life. And it's saying that this took you into kind of a creative period, and but now that the moon has moved on, it is involved with your progressed sun, your progressed Mercury. Actually, this says it's just kind of a few. Let's see, what date do I have on this? It's kind of getting that close. Um, just kind of a couple. It's like one, two, like only about 3 months ago. About 3 months ago, your progressed moon and progressed sun would have been together, sort of a progressed new moon in Pisces. And what this shows is a reassessment of kind of of initiative, where you want to take things. And it's saying with this moon in Pisces and sun and Mercury in Pisces, in your sixth house, it's about self refinement. It's sort of personal research and development. PRD, personal research and development, is the what the sixth house is about a lot. It's sort of very Virgo-ish. So it's sort of, even though your progressed moons in Pisces and your progressed sun and progressed Mercury, it's all Pisces. It's still carried out this intuitive, this sensitivity, this empathy in kind of a very Virgoian way. It's wanting to kind of do things with your, wanting to kind of figure out, how can I serve? How can I do things? And really, it's saying that the things that you want to do is be kind of useful. It's like, yes, it looks great now for a new work environment. Just kind of a few months ago, that this is still in place, this kind of new initiatives about new work environment. Um, but we have to kind of keep in mind too that, darn it, you're um, so good with business. Maybe not that great with money. Money can be sort of fluid, but for you with Neptune in Scorpio in the second house, um, but this is that that money works for you when it's in motion. There's a flow to it, an ebb and at the tides of cash kind of for you. So you also have to put in this thing here about that you kind of really good communicator too, with your Venus and Mercury conjunct in Sagittarius. And so I'm kind of combining these things, but this you really says that you make a good empathetic employee for sure, but I really got to go with this idea of somehow getting into whether it starts as just a sideline or you know, extra money thing, part time, kind of that kind of develop your own business. And it says it has to do with families. It's caring, it's supportive, it's has to do because your midheaven is in Cancer here, and so all this moon stuff about um, yes, refinement, yes, you're working on your own health, working on your own nutrition, working on kind of having better, kind of healthier lifestyle, healthy habits, um, and but that you also have this impetus now to serve, to help people with those same things, and that uh, so somehow I got a feeling here that these just kind of, especially just a few months ago, there were sort of seeds planted for you in your life, people you met, kind of circumstances, awarenesses that I can do this. Seeds have been planted to uh, that I think are going to evolve here into like a sideline and a business, and it involves community, it involves families. It's about a service that people benefit from, and if there's, I think that there would be a counseling aspect, a advising, consulting kind of aspect to this, and um, so I think that's kind of starting already, and it's just going to develop positively over the next, well, we're looking on a next year or so. That's kind of next year and a half. Okay. And let's move on to, there's other things here too. Um, Uranus is flittering back and forth over your Jupiter, which is in the eighth house on Taurus in this grand Earth trine. And this is sort of bringing together new ideas also around kind of business and bringing really kind of insight, new awarenesses. Mars is progressed Mars 21. It's coming up to its own place over the next couple years, and it's really kind of a strong initiative around the same kind of concept of service and being kind of uh, like a pistol. Pistol might be an old way of saying it, but um, a that you are turning more and more into a real kind of initiator. Well, let's just go with shit disturber. Somebody who really has strong beliefs and who is going to be promoting them and making sure she's heard. And I think that this also evolves out of this service business and helping people. Um, so of course, in life, everything ties together, and things are tying together here in your chart around new directions. Now, yes, there can also be, but I was thinking, yes, maybe it starts as a sideline, starts as kind of connections, part time, kind of getting commissions or getting some fees for things you're helping people with. Um, And but there's also may also be work and job stuff too, and that this is again, it says to look at whether it's the nutrition supplement store selling kind of um, you know, protein shake stuff or and supplements, or whether it's around herbs or oils or more natural kind of direction around that, or if it's but this, because that's what this stuff shows, is also kind of in healthcare, um, and that because this seems to be kind of up your alley. You know, you really prefer to feel that, well, if I got to go in and punch the clock, so to speak, I want to be helping people. I want to be, helping them feel better. I want, playing a positive role in people's lives. It's like you just kind of feel dissatisfied kind of working for the double A personality, helping somebody else make money for the sake of it. That's not. You want to know. You want to know that what I'm doing is positive for others and for my community and for yourself. It's good karma stuff. So it's a great time that kind of going back for both these angles, the angle of self-employment and the angle of employment. All kind of they're it's saying kind of just kind of started a few months ago as a new initiative, and it's going to work out pretty well. And just over the next few months, I think here, and let's talk too about um, love stuff. So and relationships. Gosh, Um, the whole thing here is it says you're getting kind of caught up in this sort of project and self development and self improvement and self and work stuff and business stuff, business self. So I'm sure you can be dating and kind of hanging out with friends and somebody's flirting and my own intuition says somebody who's a little bit older, who is a friend, and then you're kind of, I don't know, I don't think I want this as a real solid relationship. That's not where I feel see myself going, but nonetheless, they're kind of knocking on your door, giving you calls, and kind of want to do this, want to do that. Just kind of, I'm sorry to say, as a guy who just, God, the friend zone can be painful, but tough, right? You got to feel comfortable, you got to feel sure, and you don't want to settle. So um, that's the way it is, right? And saying Saturn in the fifth is that people tend to be attracted to and get involved in romance with people who are either older or younger. It's like and that there tends to be age differences, and you can tend to be sort of impulsive. And saying Jupiter there now, just recently in your on your seventh house, says opportunities too, um, but it's more opportunities to expand your social network. It's opportunities to expand your kind of uh, yeah, kind of romance life. But it says, kind of, and you can be a bit impulsive, but it says kind of chill, kind of take it slow. Um, it's saying that there's going to be a much more, like a real, I think, kind of significant relationship as your progress moon moves into your seventh house here in Aries. And that is, let's see, blah, 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 blah. 17 Pisces, and then we can add two, so 30 Pisces in a year. It's like a year and, again, year and a half. For some reason, year and a half is like a big hairy deal for you in your life, both in career and relationships. And I would suggest that kind of, so what's a year and a half? Well, kind of Christmas 2023 is like going to be a big deal. We'll say that. It's, and there's, I think, yeah. I don't even know if I can pause this, but you know what? That's what we got. Um, yeah, I just want to pull a couple cards, and I can do that electronically because I have the tech ability. So, where'd it go? I'll show you. Oh, first card around career stuff. Your card is the Empress. So I really don't know how that's going to show up. Yeah, that's lovely, actually. Yeah. Anyway, there it is. There's the Empress. You can see her. Empress at her throne. It says success. It says you're really looking for something. You create something. You're creating something that you can really put your heart and energy into and feel kind of good about. And then the other big issue is the what about relationships? Oh, well, we got a young man here, and we call him the Knight of Wands. Da, da, da. And what that suggests is somebody's coming into the picture right now. So, but it may be a little bit younger, as I said earlier, and he seems sincere, but um, not ready for a commitment. So that might be just kind of the thing you need to kind of see it through for a year and a half or some time, because he seems to be a very creative person, and maybe a musician or artist, kind of performer somehow. He's okay, like in front of people, and um, uh, kind of fun, kind of clever, kind of rude, kind of yeah. So it's saying that there's something going on now, but around the relationship that this is talked that this one mentioned is it's it doesn't look like it's the settling down kind of material. So that's okay, because you're going to be too busy to really kind of think about that for another year and a half. And that's what we got for you. All right. Let's see now.